What's going on, everybody? My name is Mohammed. I'm a cinematographer based in Dubai, and in this video I'm going to show you my cine build with the Nikon Z8. I've been using this build to shoot my documentaries for the past few weeks, and it involves a full Z8 Tilta cage and the Tilta Mirage V&D kit. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's get started. So the first thing is the cage for the Nikon Z8. So let's open that up. Here's the cage itself. This is the cage. And in order to put the camera in the cage, you need to get rid of these dangly bits. So I'm gonna start doing that now. So say goodbye to my nails and say hello to nail damage. Because every time I take these out, I do something to hurt myself. So this is honestly the worst part about the Nikon cameras. I don't like these dangly bits. So whenever you want to install a cage, you have to remove them. And then if you want to use the camera for photography, you obviously need a strap, so you have to install them again, and it's just a pain. So now that these two are off, it's time to install the cage. So the first thing you have to do is to remove these two screws over here using the tool that they give you in the box. So just go ahead and remove them. All right, so now that we've removed those two little screws, it's time to install the cage. So grab this bit right here, hold it down, bring the camera, and then slide it in. Make sure that these two parts, like these two holes, are lining up. Okay, here we go. And then we put the screw in and we just have to lock it in, and we can use a little handy tool that Tilta has in their cage already to be able to lock in the camera. There we go, put that back. Now, remember those two little screws? You're gonna have to put them back in so that the camera does not go anywhere. Where did my little tool go? Over here. We're just gonna tighten this. All right, so that's it for our cage. Here is a closer look on how the cage looks. I think it's pretty slick. It's also pretty comfortable to hold. So now the next thing is putting on the base plate. And this should be pretty easy. So let's just unbox the base plate. Here it is. So it has two slots for Arca and for Manfrotto. So all you have to do is hold down this button, then bring the camera, and then just slide it in, and boom, there you go. You are set. So now, in order to lock it, you just have to tighten this little screw over here. Just bring that closer. This one's a bit tricky because it gets stuck to the cage, so you have to bring it out, take it to the other side, and then screw it in. There we go, that's all the way tight. Let's put it snug there. So there is our base plate. Took less than 10 seconds. All right, so next up is the top handle. But before we can install the top handle, I need to install a NATO rail over here. So let me grab one and then put it in position and lock it in. So now let's unbox the top handle. Here we go. That's the top handle right there. All right. So all you have to do is make sure that it's not locked, and then slide it in like that. Make sure it's center, and then just lock it like that. So now it is completely secure. So next up is the side wooden handle, which looks sick. So I'm just gonna show you how it looks first, and then I'll get to installing it. Take a look at that. That's beautiful. So this goes to the left-hand side of the camera. So again, I need to install a NATO rail here just to make sure that everything is easy to install and take off. So here is my NATO rail, which again is included in the full kit when you purchase the full kit for the Nikon Z8. So let me just lock this in. So here is the NATO rail that we just installed. So next up, you have to screw in this part onto the wooden handle. So it matches up, it lines up like that. Then you have 2 screws, which you have to screw in. So now that this is done, all I have to do is slide it in to the NATO rail. So again, make sure that it is unlocked and then go top to bottom like that. And it's on, and now all you have to do is lock it. Lock it in place, and boom, here you go. And that is snug and beautiful. I really like how that looks. So we're almost done with the cage. All we have to do now is just slide in the rods, which we need for the mat box. So let me just bring out these rods here. So open these screws up, make sure they're loose, and then from this side you put in the rods just like that, and then you tighten them back up. So next up, I'm gonna mount my lens. So I'm just gonna get rid of the cap. I have a PL to Z adapter here from Viltrox, so I'm just gonna install that. Put it in there like that, and then unlock the mount. Get rid of this. And then here is my lens. This is the Z8 film 40mm t2.1, which is one of my favorite lenses. And I'm just gonna put that in. There we go. Lock it in place. And we are done with the cage setup. So this is how it looks. So let's get to opening the Mirage matte box. Okay, so here we have the matte box itself. Then we have the adapters. So first things first, you have to put on an adapter. So the Vespid primes have a front diameter of 77 mil. So here is the 77 mil adapter. So I'm just gonna screw that on to the lens. So once you have your adapter installed, you have to install the NATO rail attachment to the matte box. So just go ahead and lock it in like that. So now we will install the matte box to the lens. So make sure that this part is loose so that you can match the matte box opening with the adapter, because it has to fit very snug. So boom. So once it is in place, we just have to tighten this screw here and then tighten the 2 rod holders as well. So everything is snug and fit. And lastly, you want to tighten this little knob here so that everything about the matte box is secure. So now we have to slot in our ND filter, which is here. So let me just bring that out. So this is a 0.3 to 2.7 variable ND, which is super useful for my work. So in order to slot in the ND, you kind of have to slide this part up and then bring this little holder out. There we go. And once it's in place, then you can use this to control the strength of the ND. So after all of that, here is the final rig. I added a few bits and bobs, so the Atomos Ninja as the monitor and the Rode Wireless Pro as my audio source, and that's pretty much it. This is what I've been using to create all the cinematic documentaries that I've been doing in the past few weeks. What I like about this build is how sturdy and solid the whole thing is. Tilta's build quality is exceptional, and the way that everything fits together is excellent. Like with other builds that I've had in the past, like after using them for like an hour or so, they start to kind of like, you know, get loose and kind of like shake in place, but this is sturdy and solid. But thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Till next time.